Hey guys, this is Shane. Welcome to my Curator of the Lost channel. Today, I have a question for you on a topic of something that just happened to me. And the question is, have you ever been scorned or talked down to or judged or, all those things for being a reseller? That somebody thinks that you're doing something wrong or that there's something wrong with reselling. I guess I haven't ever really experienced this in person, but I just did. So I'm going to show you what I bought, which is a really cool deal. And I need to tell you the story that this lady at my library bookstore, this other customer, her reaction in the conversation. So, hey, before I jump in, I want to say thank you. Thanks for the views, the channel support, comments. I look forward on this to hearing if you've had any similar experiences and, I think it'll be fun to see what other people, if it's just something common or if there's just this one lady. But again, thanks for the channel support. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. You guys keep watching. I'll keep doing these and we'll just see what happens. So, all right, so I was at my library store. This was my secondary library, not my primary. And I bought this really cool thing for $10, okay? This ACFE Fraud Examiner's Manual. $10, okay? I opened it up. It's two huge 3-ring binders. And on eBay, these things, I've got sold comps on these for like 110 to 130 bucks. And that's like editions like 2010, 2015. I checked, this was the 2021 edition. You never know what's going to be in this kind of thing. Just for a little segue before we get into the lady story. But, these are 3-ring binders. So I checked them. You always check them. Sometimes there's like loose leaf stuff on things like this, but I checked the date. Here's 2021. There wasn't a bunch of writing or scribbling or torn pages. So, for $10 for that kind of comp, I'm like, man, this is great. So I'll put it over on the desk, say I'm gonna get this, and I go pick up a few more books. I actually scored some pretty good things there that I'll show you in another video. This warranted its own story, right? And as I'm going to check out, and there's this lady, I would say she was in her 60s, wearing a big hat, and I think she was maybe a little flustered, but I think it was basically her personality. She had 2 books. They had just started a collectible book section, and the prices on those were inside. And the lady that was working the desk was trying to find the price, and then she picked up another book, and the lady said, why are you trying to make me pay for my library book? That's a library book. And the lady that was working, super nice lady, she said, I'm sorry, I just got confused. I just saw him here with it. And the first lady goes, I know you're confused, but it's okay because you look good. And I thought, man, that's kind of harsh, inappropriate. I guess maybe she's trying to be funny, but she had this tone just like that, right? So then she looks at me and she goes, are you a fraud examiner? And I'm like, okay, because I have these. And I said, no, I'm not. And she goes, well, why are you buying those? And I said, well, I read, I collect, and then I resell as well. And I plan on reselling these. Just, okay, conversation, honest, I don't care. She looks at me, and with this tone and this volume in her voice, she goes, well, you're one of those. And I'm like, what the heck? So I'm sitting there in my brain, all of my responses, right? And she's still trying to check out. The little lady at the desk is trying to get her squared away. And I said, well, why can't you say that with a little more enthusiasm? Maybe not the best response. I wish I just said, what do you mean, to just be totally clear. But then she goes on and she says, well, I would be interested in those, but not at the price you're going to sell them for. And just this contempt, coming from her voice. And I was like, well, I guess if you'd been here 5 minutes earlier, you could have got them for $10, but I've got them, And then the lady was like, one of her books was like $5 and she didn't want to pay that. And so she said, just put that back. And she was all disgusted, bought one book for $1 and kind of left in a huff. And in my brain, I'm thinking all the things that I should have said or could have said, but I guess, I'm trying to, you're kind of raised with the, if you can't say something nice, just don't say anything at all. And that was, why I engaged with this person. But as I reflected on this, I was just kind of taken back, because it's like, this is a place of commerce. It's a library bookstore, but they're raising money for the library. I don't make offers on things. They price things. This is like any store, right? They price things, and people come in, and if they're willing to pay that price, they can buy it. I could buy it to read. I could buy it to put on my shelf and let it collect dust. I could buy it to take it out and throw it in the garbage. I choose to buy it to resell. The library, if they wanted to do that, or any store, thrift store, and this is, Goodwills and things price their things appropriately by value. But the gentleman that priced it, he came out and he said, I wondered if you would be in the next few days. He said, I just put that out like yesterday, and kind of what they sell for, right? And I said, yeah, that's a great price. And he said, well, it's such a niche thing for our people. I just wanted to price it to make, a good sale, but I'm glad you got it. I'm glad that you'll, make use of it. And he was really cool, the guy that worked there, right, in the back stock room. He came out after this altercation, right? And, it's the sort of thing that they could have taken, I guess, the time to, try to sell it online themselves, but they're volunteers, and they do this, and they price it what they think is, it's donated, and they make money. I would have paid more for it if it was priced $20. I still would have bought it for $20, given that it can resell, I think, really easily, especially the 2021 edition, for $120. But that's not the point. The point was, they independently priced it for what they thought was a fair price for their operation. I came in at the right time. I agreed to buy that. And this lady is looking at me and talking to me like I'm doing something wrong. And so I guess, I was just kind of taken aback by that. And I thought, well, I just wonder if anybody else has had this experience and had, that as a reseller, because you're reselling, have you experienced where people are somehow vilified for that? I just don't get it. My final story here, I guess this is my rant, my catharsis, is, my brother, he worked at a TJ Maxx store, manager, and they have these first run, tagged designer purses. And he had a lady there that didn't work there, but she came in all the time. And they have I think they have a thing where, like, certain days after it's been on the shelf for so long or in the bin, they have certain days they mark it down. And this lady knew their schedule. And she came in and bought these designer purses, and she would resell them on eBay. And she told my brother she had been doing this for about a year, and she had managed to pay down $15,000 of debt and get that off of her. And my brother's like, that's awesome, great. And one of his coworkers said, well, doesn't that make you upset? Why, wouldn't you rather, that she's buying all these? And he's like, I don't care. We price them by what, TJ Maxx, what we want to price them for. I don't care if she buys every one. It doesn't matter. We price them at what we want to sell them at, that we're going to make our money, our profit on. And if one customer wants to buy them all, I don't care. I wish she would come in and buy more. And that's kind of what my attitude, my thought process is, the way stores are, I mean, who cares what? Like I said, I could buy it, read it, use it, throw it away, whatever. Why is reselling, is it going to somebody, it's a jealousy factor? They think that we're taking something. I'm not taking the food out of her mouth, but anyway, the reaction I felt was kind of extreme. And like I said, there's two things, one, you're kind of raised, if you can't say something nice, just don't say anything at all. So these things that are going in my head as a response, I'm like, whatever. And then in the South, there's the saying, if you ever get said this to you, better, read between the lines, that if anybody ever says, well, bless them, bless her. And I guess that's all I can say, is just bless her. So I look forward to your comments, see what happened. If anything like that's happened to you, you guys, hopefully you're finding good stuff. Remember, see cool, buy cool, then list it so you can sell it. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.